Hey guys, so let's go ahead and talk some more about what some kind of things you can do with Animaker. Let me switch over my screen here so that you can see Animaker. So this is kind of where we were yesterday, right? We talked about bringing in some characters, some different backgrounds, and we said that if you clicked on somebody, you could go ahead and click on this microphone and make them talk. So a couple of other things that you just should be aware of. You can come into this paint palette and you can change some of the ways that these characters look, right? So I could, change her top into something red if I wanted to, or, whatever kind of color combination I wanted to do. The other thing that you can kind of do is this. If you click on a person, you'll notice that they've got some different poses. And so if she's kind of pointing like this, but I want her to face the other way, I can mirror her like that so that I can flip her. I can also flip her on the horizontal if I needed to do that. Okay, so just be aware that that's what this does. This flips it. Okay, obviously this deletes it. And just some settings over here that will let her fade in or fade out or some different things. So the big thing that I want to talk about though is this sort of Action Plus button. So what Action Plus is going to let me do is string together a series of commands. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on her and get off the gear here and go back and I'm just going to set her to a neutral pose like this. Okay, so what if I wanted to get her to, say, walk across the screen and stop in the middle and do something? So I'm going to close this panel right here and I'm going to move her off the screen so that we can get ready to start. Now I'm going to click on Action Plus, and so my first action for her is I'm going to actually edit this one and scroll down a little bit here until I find her walking like that. So that's her walking. I'm going to go ahead and hit the check there. Now I'm going to hit this plus and add my next action, which is to actually get her to move. So I'm going to drag her out across the screen to where I want her to go and then click on that check. Alright, now I want to have her go into a new pose. So I'm going to click on the plus and she's just going to cry here in the middle, or maybe think, or she's going to get angry, whatever pose you kind of want her to do. Okay, so now I'm going to accept that. I'm going to click on the check there. I'm going to click on the plus, scroll back to get her to the walking. So I'm going to click on that, click on the check, and then click on the plus and move her off the screen. Click on the check, and now I'm going to go ahead and apply all those changes. So now I see in the timeline down here at the bottom, these are all those actions that I just did. They're going to happen really fast. So if I click play like this,
hello,
you can see she comes booking on and then goes booking off. So I want that to take a little bit more time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this sort of action here, or actually I'm going to go here. I'm going to click on the woman, and I'm going to spread these out. So I'm just going to click on this action here, and I'm just going to drag it over closer to the side. And this is her walking, so that might take a little bit longer. Kind of put this one sort of in the middle like that, and just kind of spread these out. Okay, and then I can apply those changes. I can come back here, and if I wanted to, I could click on her, and we could get rid of this talking, or we could actually move the talking more over like here if we wanted to. So we click on the play again, so I'm just going to click right there and play.
Hello, my name is Jenny.
Fine.
And it looks like I just lost one of her walking motions, so I have to go take a look and see what happened there. So we'll go back here to those actions, click on the woman, and I'm not quite sure where I lost that. So we can kind of continue to fiddle with these things here. Maybe I need to move that over there like that. Until we get the actions to kind of play out the way that we want to.
Hello, my name is Jenny.
Fine.
And she's still not moving in the correct way. So again, I'd probably just have to go in and kind of reset all of that. And I definitely don't like where she's talking, so I can move that around. Okay. Now a couple of other things that you can do so that you can be aware of those is you do have some objects in here that you can kind of mess around with. So I can bring in some different shapes. So if I want to highlight something, I could do that. So if I bring out the square, for example, I could then resize the square by clicking on these different handles. Okay, I can make it a little transparent so I can see through it, so that I could really highlight a certain area if I wanted to highlight a certain area. And notice too that I've got some other images that I can use. You've got text here, so you can do just straight up text by clicking on that, and then I'm gonna just click in here and type in whatever I want. Help if I could spell it right. And then I can move that sort of in another place. I could resize it and make it a little bit bigger. Okay. And I can do things where I can have it enter and exit. So if I click on the enter effect, for example, I could have it pop up from the left, and you can see that that just happened right there. And so now when I click on play,
My name is Jenny.
and you know what? I started the thing too early, so I'm going to click right there. So you can see how that kind of popped in.
Hello.
So that's what I was doing. That's why I lost the walk, is when you click on this play right here, it'll start from wherever the scrubber is, which is this black line. And so if you click here, it'll start from the beginning of the scene. So that's why I was losing that walking animation. I didn't actually get rid of it. But you can see how the Cape Fear Academy pops in like that.
My name.
Okay. And if I don't like that, obviously I can choose a different one here. All right. Or I can go ahead, if I click on this again, I can do an exit effect. So I can choose something different. Maybe it just fades out or exits to the left, something like that. Okay. And again, if I click on this, I can see where that happens. If it's taking too long, I can always drag this over. So now the text will be on for this long, and then this will be my fade out here. That seems kind of long. We can do something like that and then bring this over like that. And so now we'll take a look. We'll play from the beginning of the scene. And you'll see the Cape Fear Academy will kind of pop in, and then it'll slide back out. Okay, so you've got all kinds of choices for how you can bring these things in. So again, I click on this, and I can enter and exit. This layering here, so this will, it's kind of like a sandwich, right? If I bring this to the front, this will be on top. But if I send it back to the back, notice now that this yellow is sort of on top of it, and because it's transparent, I can still see through it, okay? But it's kind of behind that yellow now, which means that if I increase this transparency, it's going to be harder and harder to see that Cape Fear Academy because it's behind, right? But if I click on the Cape Fear Academy and bring that to the front, okay, now when I put the yellow is actually behind it, and even though the yellow, I make it non-transparent at all, I can still see the Cape Fear Academy. Notice also with the text that you've got some different templates that you can use. Remember, anything with a star you can't use because it is something for that you have to pay for. But you can see that some of these things I can bring these out, and then I could change the what that says here to whatever I want it to say. All right, and then I've got this nice little kind of graphic here that I could add in. Okay, so you can have some fun laying text out like that. Kind of getting it the way that you want it to look, right? So maybe shrink that down a little bit. And you can even customize things. So with this, instead of that green, maybe I'll do kind of a blue and give it more of a Cape Fear Academy feel, right? So you can have some fun with that. We talked about backgrounds a little bit, right? You can come to this upload button if you want, and you can upload some things. So I'll show you that in just a second. So you can upload your own custom backgrounds. You can add in images, so some of these are ones that are built in, others you can do by uploading. Okay, so I've uploaded this CFA logo already, so I could just drag this out here and then shrink it down, and I could put it on a computer screen as if it's the computer screensaver or something like that. Over here we've got some videos. Again, I could upload videos if I wanted to, put those in the background, or I could have a video sort of playing on this computer screen, right? So I could bring this out. A little bit big, so looks like it'll only play in the background. I don't really like that, so I'm not going to put that in. Music, you can add some background music, so you can just mouse over it like this and listen to it. Okay, and if you like one of them, you just click on the plus, and you'll see that that soundtrack just came in here. I can slide this over so it's at the beginning, and then I can play the scene from the beginning. And I can hear that music coming in. Again, if I click on the music here, I can lower the volume. So if it's a little bit too loud, I can make it a little more subtle. Okay, and I can do some other things like trimming it or whatever I need to do here. So again, I can click on the start of the scene, and that's going to be a little softer.
Hello, my name is Jenny.
Fine.
How are you doing today?
Okay, so and then these are just sort of kind of fun little effects that you can put in. So you could have some balloons at the bottom of your screen, for example. And when I play that scene, I should see the balloons come in at this point. So it's just little things that you can kind of do to spice up your video a little bit. And for some reason, my computer doesn't want to play. And I'm not quite sure why that is, but that's kind of annoying. So the last thing I want to talk to you about is uploading images. And that's what this button here does. So if I have an image that I've downloaded that I like, I can, you can go onto the internet, you can search for, I just searched for a picture of a dolphin for that one, and go to images and just find the image that you like. Now technically what you should do is you should go to tools and you should go to usage rights and do the Creative Commons license so that you have permission to use it. So now I know that I have permission to use these dolphins, so I can go ahead and grab the image that I want, right click, save image as, and then I've got it. And so when I'm ready, from here I just click on the upload button, and then wherever I saved it, so I might have saved it in the downloads, or I know I have this logos folder, and these have a lot of the CFA logos in them. So I would just grab the logo that I want to work with, maybe this white one, click open. It's going to upload that for me, and then when I go back to my images, or really any of these, depending on what kind of file I've uploaded, so this happens to be an image, so I'll go into that and I'll just click on this little upload button, and there it is right there. So I can bring this out and resize it so that it kind of fits in the screen where I want it, and put it down over here in the corner or something like that. Okay, so there's a lot that you can do here with Animaker. The other thing that I'd recommend, by the way, is where it says untitled video, I would give this an actual title. So I'm just going to call this my demo video, except that I just lost it. So I'll call this my demo video, and that way you won't have a bunch of untitled videos in your dashboard. You can add scenes over here, so if I click on this plus, we talked about this yesterday, I can add a second scene, and if I don't like that background, I can switch that background out for something different. So maybe I scroll down here to home and put it in this living room. And again, remember that while you're in this particular timeline, the animation timeline, I can click on this plus and this minus to make the scene shorter or longer. And I can keep adding scenes and stringing them together. And if I want to play all the scenes together, I would click on this button right here. So this will play just the scenes themselves. This will play the entire thing. Okay? And that's sort of the basics of what I wanted to show you today. So what I'd like you to do now is go ahead and start to experiment with this. The big thing, of course, is getting the animation plus, the action plus things down. So I can close this out. So again, you're going to bring out a character. I don't care what character you want. Since this is a new scene, I can have a new character in here. All right, I click on the action plus button. All right, I start with an action. I can add the plus, have this character do something else. Okay, click on the check, and then have the character do another pose. One other thing that I want to show you real quick is this. You can change the expression on the person. So let's say I bring another person out, and let's say that it is this woman here. Okay, if I come over here to expressions, I can give her a different expression. Okay, so she can be confused, or she can be angry, she can be sleepy. Okay, so you can give her all these different sort of expressions, so that can be something as well that you could do. Have her be surprised by something that the person says, or be worried, or whatever it is that these expressions are that you want to use. Okay, so again, that's just on the other side of actions here. You have the expressions. So be aware that that's there too. Okay, I know that's a lot, but again, you can go back and rewind this video if you have to. As I said, the big thing, I want you to practice the action plus. I want you to get some people out, have them do some things, and again, don't be afraid to sort of redecorate them a little bit as need be, give them some slightly different outfits. Okay, and just again, just experiment with it, okay, and see what you can do, and just be creative and have some fun. All right, we will talk to you all later. Hope this makes sense, and if not, I'll be back tomorrow to answer some questions.